He's used to being a press corner in college, and that's been a real adjustment for him in the NFL.
Here's Eckler over the left side, coming off a big game at Cleveland, and a nice run, his first of the night, and got away with it. Quick setup, the throw, it is caught for a first down. We'll check in with John Perry after this.
Left defensive end move, right tackle reacted.
Here is one toward the end zone, and it is incomplete. As Bandy was downfield.
Been dealing with an ankle injury, had surgery on, and they got him on that play.
Wilson unloads, pass is caught, a hit to the helmet. Hinton makes the grab, a gain of 8.
He's up in press again.
Wilson out to his right. Throws, and a spinning grab. Was he in bounds? That's Tomlinson, and it counts. Third down. Wilson is sacked. Brought down by Khalil Mack.
And where to go with the football.
51-yard try by McManus. And the Broncos get the first points of the night.
They've still got good depth, and Latavius Murray being an accomplished running back himself.
There he is, right up the center of the offensive line, brought down by Derwin James, their safety, who's their top. Third down and 4. Quick throw, and that is the rookie Dulcich, makes the grab and gets the first down. Third down and 13. Wilson gets away from Mack. Throws on the run and finds Jerry Jeudy, who turns and goes and takes it to the 39. Russell 9 for 9 to 9 different receivers. Wide open Dulcich. First game in the NFL. Touchdown. Eckler back in there on 2nd and 7, and Eckler gets the pass, turns, and fights for a first down. He's as strong a guy as you'll ever run across. He's 5'10".
You get guys that are undrafted playing at the level that they are. That's a scouting department feels good.
Here's a pass caught for a big play by Donald Parham Jr.
And how much that rib injury's affected him too.
Third down now. Herbert. Pass caught, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Joshua Palmer.
Next light.
Third down here. Pass is caught. That's Everett. Let's see where they put it down.
Looks like it was enough.
And it sure does with the line judge running in from the near sideline. That's a first down.
Well, here's
Eckler, and that is Eckler.
Oh!
Just refusing to go down. Touchdown Chargers. So good in the middle for Denver. Former 49er Herbert backpedaling. Throws, and he's got his tight end Parham wide open. Forced out by Simmons.
That was a subtle move, but it created the separation and ultimately what would have been the penalty on him.
Here's Palmer. Survives one hit. That's Damari Mathis. The holder. Third down and 3. They do hand. Eckler had to work, but he got it. Pressure from Browning, and down goes Herbert. Right off the edge and barely touched. It is good as he's able to sneak it through. Wilson airs it out. He's got Hamler. Hamler inside the 30. No timeouts left. Clock running inside 40.
Starting with the quarterback and then the catch on the other end of it.
They don't clock it. Instead, they complete it to Jeudy, and he's out of bounds with a first down.
Creates a defensive angle, and it's hard on a quarterback to give him a chance.
McManus from 27 yards away. And that will be the final snap of the first half. Herbert throws. Palmer with a catch. Knocked down short of first down yardage. Third down coming up, but a 14-yard completion from Herbert.
Hey, nice job. They're able to get the completion.
Herbert throws. Palmer with a catch, breaks a tackle, and goes down the sideline. Mathis couldn't bring him down. And a nice catch and run by Joshua Palmer for 14. Pat Surtain is. Herbert not even looking that direction, and the ball is knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Deshaun Williams. Good snap, good hold, kick is good. And this is a tie game.
In this ball game.
Wilson throws, pass is caught by Sutton. And he is brought down right at the marker. Looks like a first down for Boone. Boone doesn't have a carry. Murray gets another, and he's got a first down. Another blitz. Derwin James is there for the sack. Chargers 62% on third down. That's double the season average being allowed by the Broncos. Here's a nice catch by Parham.
With good timing.
Third down and 7 now. Herbert. Carter fought for the first down and got it. Herbert settles, throws. Sony Michel, long way to go, and he won't get it. He brings up fourth down.
Early in your career is the most difficult position.
Here's Judy with a first down for Denver. Samuel makes the tackle, but not before Jerry Judy gets 7. Wilson to his left. Will take off and dive. They're going to mark him short of first down yardage by about half a yard. Heard in the second quarter against the Raiders 2 games ago. He gets the first down and plenty more. And slides as Derwin James goes over the top of him, a 10-yard run. On first down, pass is in the air and picked off by Browning. A turnover, now it's knocked out of his hand. And Browning's trying to get it back. And they do. He gets the interception on the deflection, had it knocked away, and then got on his own fumble. Wilson out to his right is brought down by Tranquil.
And at least avoided the lost yardage to make this an easier attempt.
48-yard try. McManus got it. And the Broncos get 3 off the takeaway by Browning. Have resulted in first downs. Blitz from Browning. Pass is caught by Everett. Simmons able to get him down, but not before Everett leading this one by 3. Handoff to Michel, and he gets another first down. Nice run, and Singleton brings him down eventually, but a gain of 6. The flag is down out there near the 41.
A lot of things that get affected at the center position.
Good snap there. Pressure on Herbert. Gets away. Throws, and the pass incomplete, but a flag comes in. Mathis defending Joshua Palmer. First down and 20, and remember their kicker is injured. Pass is over the middle and caught by Eckler. He's able to spin his way down near the 17 as he gets 8. He got it.
He got it and went down.
And that last graphic highlighting just how close these games have been for the Denver Broncos, who have lost 3-1-2. Blitz. Wilson is sacked. Tranquil gets his second. No chance for Russell Wilson. Clock running. 3rd down and 5. Pass to Eckler, and he is right at the marker. Looks like he lunged and got the first down. Singleton on the stop. Herbert to the sideline. Palmer out of bounds near the 40. Extra men on the rush. Everett, the tight end, survives a couple of hits, and he's going to be out of bounds, half a yard shy of a first down. Sony Michel, they fake it to him. Herbert in trouble. Throws, the pass is caught, but they lost yardage. Hoping for magic and another PI to have a chance. Herbert short of the end zone, and it is incomplete. And Damari Mathis was there to knock it away from Joshua Palmer. Russell 6-6-1 in overtime in the NFL. Latavius Murray, a little stutter step, and he is dragged down just shy of the 30 by Austin Johnson. 3rd down and 1. Wilson throws low. Hamler incomplete.
Neither one of these defenses have any respect for what they're facing offensively.
Pass is way short. Caught by Eckler, and then one-on-one with Jonas Griffith, and Griffith wins that.
With even better field position than they're already going to get.
Scott hits it. Hangs it high. It's short. And
it hit him.
Loose ball. No signal yet. And it belongs to the Chargers.
I'm thinking Denver's going to bring something, see if they can't create a negative play and back them up more.
Pressure from Browning. Pass is caught by Williams. And that will set up a 4th down. That's good. Scott puts it down. That's good. The kick is good. And the Chargers win it in overtime.